Hey guys, it's finally time to talk about Lightyear. I'm so excited to talk to you about one of my favorite films of the year. And yes, that took me by surprise, I'm not gonna lie. So Lightyear hits theaters this Friday on June 17th, but let's talk about it. Let's get my spoiler-free review. Before we dive into it though, if this is your first time here, I'd love it if you take 1 second, hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one, okay? Let's talk about Lightyear. So I need to start this off with, I know some people find this a little bit confusing. So this movie is the movie that Andy watched, okay? This is out there. This is not a spoiler. This is Andy's favorite movie. This is one of the reasons Andy wanted a Buzz Lightyear toy. Now, according to the director and screenwriter, Angus MacLane, he says that there was a spin-off cartoon for this live action. It was a live action in Andy's world movie. Spin-off cartoon, toys came from that. That's why Buzz looks a little different. That's why, honestly, they focused on hyper-realistic animation when it comes to this movie. They wanted to make sure it looked very, very realistic. They used like an IMAX camera to film animation. It's crazy. They used those proportions. So like, really, this is made for IMAX. And if you watch this in IMAX, it's absolutely stunning and gorgeous. Just beautiful. They also changed the proportions of Buzz. You can tell that has more human proportions. He's more like a human instead of a toy, right? So little changes like that make this really just a believable as a live action movie. I mean, this is a cinematic masterpiece, you guys. It's absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous. It is just a feast for the eyes. Like, it feels like you're in this movie when you watch it. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Like, props to the animators. It's so good, and so just watching it, just the movie watching experience is incredible. And then you want to talk about the movie, which is really freaking good too. I mean, first of all, we have an incredible cast, right? We have Chris Evans stepping into the role of Buzz Lightyear, which feels a little weird, right? We're all super used to Tim Allen, but I promise you it just takes a couple of seconds. Honestly, less than 5 minutes, and you're like, okay, I'm cool with this. Like, I'm totally in, I get it. I mean, this is another reason why they wanted to differentiate the voice, right? The main actors don't always voice the toys of their roles. Many of them don't. It's usually imitation, or sometimes they don't even try to imitate. It's just a totally different voice. So it does make sense if you really think about it. Now, we've got Chris Evans. He's incredible. He is Buzz Lightyear. It's so weird how quickly he's believable as this character and how quickly you fall in love with him. They've even shaped Buzz's face to look a little bit like Chris Evans. It's weird. It looks like a Tim Allen, Chris Evans mix. And I'm here for it because he's kind of hot as a cartoon. I'm not going to lie. Like, I was like, oh, okay. All right, Buzz. Yeah, you look, I see your little chin dimple. I'm here for it. But then we also have just an incredible guy. I mean, Taika Waititi is in this, and he's absolutely hilarious. We've got Keke Palmer as Izzy, who's incredible as well. And then Dale, who voices Darby. Just the three of them are just this ragtag group of just complete misfits who don't know what they're doing, but they're so funny. And I mean, we get a glimpse of that in the trailers, but it takes it to a whole new level. And I feel like they must have all been in this room just riffing off each other, being hilarious, but they weren't. They were all like recording separately because of the pandemic. It's amazing what they've done with this film. It's so good. But then guys, let's talk real quick about, who steals the show here. Yes, this is a Buzz Lightyear movie. Yes, this is Chris Evans. He's amazing. He's incredible. But Socks, the companion robot cat, will steal your hearts, okay? I love this cat. Like, I fell instantly in love with him. I'm not even a cat person. I'm a dog person. And I was like, oh, now I want a cat. Like, how am I a cat person now? I don't understand this. This cat is so great. He's robotic, and he gives off Baymax vibes a little bit, where he's like, like super sweet and loving, but then like gives the facts in a robotic manner. Like, I don't know. He's just so freaking cute, and he's hilarious. He's so much fun. all throughout the entire thing. I love his relationship with Buzz, and you will grow to love him very, very quickly. Now, we did talk during the press conference, we talked about why Andy wouldn't have a socks toy, because I think that's something that people are kind of thinking like, oh, it's almost like they're retconning Toy Story, right? Doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't Andy have a socks toy? So everyone fell in love with socks. Well, the director and producer, they said, well, listen, socks toy was very hard to get, right? It's like that at from Star Wars. Like, maybe your friend down the street has it, but you didn't have it. Andy's mom tried to get it, but also it's like a $70 toy. Like, it's hard to find and super expensive, so there's a lot of reasons why Andy wouldn't have had socks. And just because we don't see a socks toy in the Toy Story films doesn't mean one didn't exist in the Toy Story universe. Of course, there was a socks toy. It was just very, very hard to get. Now, let's talk about a character that we have seen in Toy Story that is now in Lightyear, and of course that is Zurg, the villain, right? He's voiced by James Brolin, who is a fantastic choice, by the way, and Zurg is so great as a villain. Now, if you know me, you know I love my villains, so I was very happy with this version of Zurg that we got. He is full of surprises, he is menacing, he is terrifying, you know, he's this giant, like, almost anime-ish, like mecha, like, oh my gosh, he's crazy, right? He looks incredible. He's definitely like a mecha version of Zurg, right? This mecha robot. He's crazy. He's so good. The whole plot surrounding him is amazing. Now, I will say, if you guys have seen the trailer, you know there is some time travel in here involved in this plot, which can be a little confusing. I mean, anytime you use time travel, you got to figure out timelines and things can get a little confusing, and it's one of those things that you just have to like accept and move on, right? Okay, they're telling me this story, I'm going to believe it, and we're moving on. And I don't think that it's, you know, explained in a bad way. I don't think that it gets that confusing, but I do know some people at my screenings were like, hold on, I'm confused, explain this to me. And then with a quick conversation, it was like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. So it's one of those things that you might have to play off your friends for a hot minute, but you'll all figure it out. It's really not that hard. It's just, you know, time travel. It's always kind of messes with the brain because it feels weird, right? Time travel, like traveling in time, is crazy. It's a weird concept. But it works out, and I love this story because it is, you guys, it's dark, right? They take this, and you can see just from the poster, okay? Again, it's gorgeous, right? This is supposed to be live action in Andy's world, right? So this animation is hyper realistic, and it's stunning, and it's gorgeous, and then they give you this dark, mature story to go with it. And I'm not saying it's too mature for kids, because it's not. I'm taking my kids, they're 9 now, sorry. They're 9 and 10, almost 11. I'm going to take them opening weekend. I think this is fine for kids, like even like 5-year-olds, I mean little kids who loved Toy Story. They're gonna love this. But it's dark, okay? It really, really focuses on that dangerous side of nostalgia, that dangerous side of living in the past and not allowing yourself to live your life now. You're stuck on one mistake or one moment in time in the past, and what that can do to you, how that can change you and warp you into someone who is just different and not you, right? What it can do to you and what it can do to your mind, and just, it's so good. And I love that story, and I love that lesson, because it really is face your fears, live your life, you know, don't allow yourself to get stuck on this one moment in time, because life is out there to live, right? Don't just let your life fly by because of a mistake you made in the past, one small mistake. And I really, really, truly love that message. I think it's really shown beautifully in this film. I really, really do. There are moments that you will cry. There was, I think there were 3 times that I like cried. Two of them were like cries. One might have been like a tear up, but there's some intense emotional moments. I guess Pixar, of course, they're going to do that to you, right? What do you expect, right? Within the first 30 minutes, you need to find tissues. That's just how Pixar is. Let's talk about the lesbian kiss, the same-sex kiss. It's there. They removed it, and then they put it back. I'm so glad they did. It makes perfect sense the way that it fits in here. It's towards the beginning. It's just this couple kisses, and you move along. It's fine, you know? It's not a big deal. I really hope people don't continue to complain about it, because this is life, you guys. Love is love is love is love is love. And so freaking what? So, I don't know. I could ramble on and on of that, but we'll stick to the review. So overall, I mean, this movie is hilarious, right? Especially thanks to socks. You guys are never going to look at sandwiches the same way. I promise you that. That is all I am going to say. Just keep that in mind. You will never, ever, ever, ever be able to eat a sandwich without thinking of Lightyear from now on. That's at least me. I think it's a fantastic, beautiful, stunning, gorgeous. It's filled with heart. It's filled with real, legit life important lessons that you're just gonna be like, wow, okay, I am not gonna, sit to the side and let my life fly by and have nothing to show for it. And I really, really love the story. And there's something that fans of Toy Story, this is very subtle, something that fans of Toy Story, an event, a thing that they made canon in the Toy Story world that some people maybe were like annoyed with. You guys will know what I'm talking about when you watch the movie. That they fix a little bit, but they do kind of rag on it, which I did like. That was a moment that I laughed so hard. And then, guys, the best part is there are 3 end credit scenes. Three end credit scenes. So there is an end credit scene, mid credit scene, I should say, that's like, this is funny. Then you wait all the way through the credits, and then there's one that's like even funnier that you're like, okay, that was good. That was worth waiting. Then they get the little Pixar thing with the lamp hopping out, becoming the eye and Pixar and all that fun stuff. And then they have that sting, a very fantastic, amazing sting that you're going to go, what? So definitely stay in your seats until the very, 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 very end. Don't get up when you see the lamp popping through and leave. Don't do it, okay? Because you will miss one of the best parts of Lightyear. Now, one of the best things about this, speaking of the best things about Lightyear, the timing is great. It's like an hour and 45-ish minutes, which is perfect for something like this. It kind of flies by. Starts off a little slow as they're setting up the story, but listen, I saw the first 30 minutes before the early press day, and I was like, okay, all right, let's speed things up. Watching it the second time altogether, no big deal. It really didn't bother me. And even watching it a second time, which you would think maybe it would feel slower in that moment, but it actually really works, and it all comes together well. The ending is fantastic. I mean, the middle is fantastic. I mean, this whole movie is so good. I can't wait to watch it again. If you can watch it in IMAX, do it, because it's absolutely stunning. But the score is incredible. You guys know I can never say his name right. Michael you know who I'm talking about. It's him. He does everything. The score is amazing. This is very much a sci-fi score. It will give you chills. It intensifies every moment that it needs to intensify, and it softens every moment that it needs to soften. Like, it is absolutely perfect. The score is amazing. It's so fitting because this is very much a sci-fi movie. You can tell it's inspired by things like Star Wars. I mean, listen, Zurg is Darth Vader, you guys. I'm not even joking, right? And then, we've got inspirations from like Aliens and like Space Odyssey. And I mean, so many, Interstellar. There's totally some Interstellar inspirations here. I mean, there's all that sort of stuff in here that's very, very sci-fi. It's like an 80s, 90s sci-fi movie. That's what it is. And that's exactly what it perfectly embodies. And that's what it pulls off. So for those of you who love that stuff, you are going to love this. But I think anyone who loves animation is going to absolutely just be in awe of this film. Anyone who loves the Toy Story universe, trust me, this fits well in the Toy Story universe. Like I said, this is the movie Andy watched, okay? This isn't a Toy Story movie. This is a Buzz Lightyear movie, and it is meant to be live action in the Toy Story universe, and I think it is important that you remember that. And you remember that this is something Andy watched, and then he got the Buzz Lightyear toy. So these are 2 separate Buzz Lightyears. Like, yeah, he's the toy, but he's the toy. This is like the man in the live action movie. So as long as you can separate those, you'll get it. Listen, guys, I went back and forth between a 4.5 out of 5 and a 5 out of 5. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I think I'm landing at a 4.5 out of 5, only because of some of the slower moments towards the beginning. But gosh, I don't know. I might change it to a 5 out of 5 by the time I get my written review up and posted to Rotten Tomatoes. But it's really tough because this is definitely one of my favorite films of the year. It's absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to watch it again. I can't wait to bring the family. I can't wait to just experience it again and again and again. This is one I will rewatch time and time again. The voice cast, incredible, hilarious, work together amazingly. The plot is great. Again, there's some confusing moments, but then you just go, okay, it's time travel, whatever. And by the time you sit and can talk with someone else who watched it, you're going to work through it and be like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So there you go. There's my review. I rambled for far longer than I expected to. You guys let me know what you think about Lightyear after you've seen it down below in the comments. If you haven't seen it yet by the time you're watching this review, just, let me know if you're excited for Lightyear. Let me know what you want to know about Lightyear. Anything that's spoiler free, I'm happy to discuss. I'm sure there's things I missed, but I rambled for far too long. I just really, truly love this movie. I think it's an absolute work of art. I mean, every film is, but this is just... God, there's really, truly something special about Lightyear. Be sure to give me that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. You can check me out at MamasGeeky.com. You can also follow me over on Twitter, Instagram, and yes, now TikTok. I'm MamasGeeky over there. MamasGeeky. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, guys. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much to all my monetary supporters, my members, and my Patreons. Love you guys.